What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to the What Up Though Show. It's your boy Dame D, and today we're going to be talking about the Tank Davis fight versus Frank Martin. And today I'm going to be joined with a special guest, and I'll allow him to introduce himself to the show.
What up, dope? What up, dope? BJ3? Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, BJ3, I thank you for coming on to the show today. Definitely going to be a great fight. An excellent fight, a great undercard. Where do we start? But before we start, I need you guys to like, subscribe, and share. And definitely want your comments about today's show and then your comments about previous shows. I definitely need you guys to continue to share. It helps the show get in the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, BJ3, where do we start? It's definitely going to be an exciting fight. We got a great undercard. I'm glad we got you back. We missed you on the last show we was talking about. I tried to reach you, but we weren't able to bring you in because I needed your advice on a few things that we was talking about. So I'm glad to have you back today. So I'm gonna give you another applause. And we gonna get down to business, man. We got a good fight. We got a good fight. We got a hometown hero that's gonna be fighting your boy Tank Davis. I'm a big Tank Davis fan. And I normally stick to what I know. And what I mean by that is no one has beat Tank yet. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to go against Tank. And what I mean by that is we both are coming, we both from Detroit, so we got a hometown hero in Frank, so it's kind of hard to go against a hometown hero, so my first question to you, BJ3, is it's gonna be I'm gonna come straight out with it. Who you think gonna win this fight? Who you think? Just I'm gonna ask you that, and then we'll roll with the rest of the questions. Give me your predictions. Who you think gonna win, and then We'll just break the whole fight down from that.
I, Listen, that's you hit me with it kind of fast.
Yeah, I'm hitting you straight on with it, kind of fast. Who you picking to win this fight tomorrow? Then after that, we'll go with the rest of the question.
Go ahead. I say, I'm saying the same thing you saying. Like my heart want to root for the hometown guy, and I can give a whole lot of points why I can root for him, not just because he's from the D. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it make it easy to root for him because it's a couple reasons you can root for him.
Okay, well, BJ, before you go, give people those things that you're talking about to that they can want. For people that don't know Frank Martin, give those people your thoughts and your opinions on what type of fighter he is. Because a lot of people don't know him. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just now getting familiar with Frank Martin within the last. I'm just gonna say last 2 years. You know what I mean? So and I've went back and watched a lot of his fights. So give people a little bit of what you think he can bring to the table tomorrow night.
Okay. I say this. I say Frank is he's the kind of fighter. He's the kind of fighter that he's he's mature as far as understanding what he needs to do to win.
Right.
Right now, he doesn't have all the experience because he started late, but he's an athlete and he understands. Like I've seen him, and I'm gonna be honest. Like when I first started watching Frank, I didn't know him. I knew the other person, and I won't say I was rooting for the other person, but I'll say that I was expecting for the other person to win.
Right.
And every time he won.
He will pull it out.
So I'm like, this just period, he can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that means something sometime. He can fight. So like you want me to give up like some characteristics or some perks, some things he do. Like he had he's a southpaw. So that's something right there off the top.
Right.
Tank is a southpaw, so southpaw fighting a southpaw.
Right. That's going to be a very interesting fight right there.
Uh-huh. That's gonna change some dynamics right
Yes,
there.
it is.
Um, he's not the type of fighter like okay, so I'm just gonna say it since you asked the question right off the top. Tank is used to fighting fighters that come straight forward.
Right.
Like Frank, not that type of fighter. Frank is gonna be trying to outthink him because Tank is just not a one only
Dimensional
type of
fighter.
knockout artist. He
Right.
can also box and move. He's good at his defense is good. His reflex and his countering, all that stuff is great.
Okay.
I can't say nothing bad about it. But he used to fighting people that just coming straight ahead, so he can figure it out, gotcha, type of
Okay.
thing. Frank, that ain't how he fight. Like he figuring you out too. So he's trying. It's gonna be like they said. It's gonna be a chess match in there. It's gonna be a good fight.
Okay.
However long it lasts.
Right. See, and I know I came out with that question as the first question just to get your predictions. Because that's what everybody probably rolling with Tank tomorrow. Because hey, listen, his record. What is he like? 29-0 with 27 knockouts.
20, 28, 29, 29,
Yeah,
something like
that
that.
only
Yeah,
two
he got.
people have survived
And he got like
not getting knocked
he
out.
he had 27. I think he's 28, 29
He's
wins.
29 wins with 27 knockouts. Only two people have went to distance with him. So that means basically. So what is that? 80%? Is that 85%?
90 something.
Right, exactly.
Nah,
So but yeah, and I'll stay with Frank.
his left hand, his power hand was broke, and I forgot the other person. I don't remember
Right.
the other.
Yeah, and I'll stay on Frank. And I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm really just now getting familiar with Frank. He's a good fighter. I went back and looked up, all of his fights. And what I've gotten from Frank this far, he's and one thing, one thing that Tank been saying a lot. He's Tank don't think that he's an experienced fighter. He's only been fighting professionally, I believe, for like 8 or 9 years. So he shocked a lot of people to be where he's at now. A lot of people probably didn't think that he was going to make it in the sport. Being that he started the game, but because most fighters start when they're young.
Right.
As kids. So I'll give him the credit. He's definitely has learned and mastered the art of boxing. But one thing I will say about and we talked about this earlier, BJ3. It was when I started watching a lot of his fights. It was one fight, and I can't believe I can't remember who it was, but he was taking a lot of right hands, and this is right when they announced that him and Tank was going to fight. So I'm like, okay, let me look up this Frank Martin, so I can see who he is. And once they told me he was from Detroit, I'm like, all right, let me look him up.
Right.
So I looked up to some of his earlier fights when he first started fighting. He did good. I'm like, okay, he had when he first started, he had a lot of his knockouts came early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And once he started fighting people, with a little bit, when he started fighting better competition, the knockouts wasn't coming as they were when he first started, when he was fighting, less competition, but as he went, he definitely grew a lot faster than a lot of people that was in his weight division, because now look at him now, he's here, he's fighting for the championship tomorrow night. But what I've learned about Frank is he takes a lot of right hands from right hand fighters. So, it's going to be a different fight tomorrow, meaning that Tank is left handed. So it's going to be, hopefully, his trainer and his believe what's his trainer name again? Is it Eddie?
He got Derek James.
Derek James. Okay, yeah, there it is. Derek James. Hopefully Derek James has corrected that. Because you definitely don't want to be taking no right hands from Tank tomorrow. You don't want that. You know what I mean? And if Tank
Tank hit hard with both hands.
exactly, and if Tank normally studies most of his fighters, good. And that's what a good fighter do. They'll study their opponent really, really good. So that's what I learned about Frank. He's a really good fighter. He has a really good jab, fast jab. He's quick. Defense is pretty good. I won't say Nothing negative about that. He has a good defense. He's quick on his toes. That's one thing that I'll give him. He's definitely gonna have to be quick on his toes against Tank tomorrow. But like I said, the only negative thing that I will say that I saw about him is taking those right hands, and he was taking a lot of them. But I will say his last two fights, he corrected that somewhat. But and I'll leave it at that, and I'll come back to that later. But my next question to you, BJ3, is who do you think is going to control the fight starting off early?
Okay, and let me say this. Let me say this because let me finish. Let me say a little bit about Frank. Let me say
Okay,
a little bit about Frank. Give him a little dudes. All right.
go ahead.
So I'm looking. I'm looking at it. He has 18 wins.
And how many knockouts?
He has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I like about 13. I may have missed one. It could be 12, but yeah. So his last two fights were against pretty good competition, really good competition.
Right.
He went the decision there. He went the decision there. The two fights before them was he stopped him.
Okay.
Then the fight before that, he went the decision. The next one, two, three, four fights before that, he stopped him. He had one decision
Now,
before
now,
that.
what's his record again versus his knockouts? BJ3.
You want to know how many knockouts?
Yes.
All right, let me count one more time. Let me give you an accurate number. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 on 13. 10 on 13.
Oh wow. So he got more knockouts than I thought he had. I thought he only had like 7 knockouts.
12. He got 12. He got 12 knockouts.
Out of and he's what's his record again?
18 and 0.
Okay, wow. So shit.
Six by decision, 12 by knockouts. And his last two was by decision, and it was against Michelle Rivera, who, again, I was watching that fight, figuring Michelle was going to win that fight.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna go with your
I
I'm gonna go with your stats.
liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with your stats. But I actually thought that he had less knockouts than what he had. But if you're right, that means he does have a lot of power. And what I was seeing that he didn't have really that knockout power. But that's the stats that you gave is saying that he got that knockout power capability.
Can you see that?
No, I can't see it. It's blurry. No, but no, I believe you. So we're gonna roll with that. That changes a lot. Okay, now I do see that. They say okay, he's 18 wins, 12 by knockout, and 6 by decision. Okay, so he got 12 knockouts out of 18 fights. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's not bad. All right. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be he definitely has a fighter punch. I'll say that. I'll give Frank that. I did not see a lot of knockouts when I was watching him fight. But stats don't lie. So but yeah, we'll go back to the question I was asking you. Who do you think is going to control the fight? Early, and who you think? Yeah, who you think gonna control the fight?
I think Tank would be smart to jump on him early since he is so unseasoned. You know what I'm saying? Especially with a fight like this with this magnitude with the lights like this.
Right,
If Tank jump on him early, then he'll have to hit. But in return, Tank will also be in a dog fight right away.
right,
So do he want to mix it up with him? Because sparring don't mean nothing, but it does. Because
right,
that mean we didn't face each other before.
right.
So I know I done felt your right hand and you done felt my left hand and we both know what we know
Right. What we
about
can do? Right,
what happened in,
right.
in that in that session, right? So um, I say take the lead. I don't think Frank gonna come out there and take it. I think honestly, from watching it, Frank is definitely he's definitely worked himself up at this point by the weigh in,
Okay.
but Tank, man, I've never seen him behaving the way he's behaving. Like
Yeah, see, and that's
never
what
even
really got me like that,
singing and
BJ.
giggling and doing dances
Yeah.
and it's like, what's happening? Is he overconfident or is he super confident or is he is I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or is he underestimating them? Is he playing games? But I don't
I'll
think
say it's
it's
all the above. I think he's trying to get in his head, but at the same time he's underestimating him. Um and he's not I'm not going to say he's not taking him serious, but the way and you saw the way in the press conference when he flinched at Frank and he made Frank, he was like, "You scared?" And he made Frank look like he was scared.
he's supposed to put his defense up and be ready, and
Right,
he
right,
was ready to throw a shot.
yeah,
Yeah, I was fine with that. I know the flinch in this generation, but yeah, you almost got hit in the mouth playing
right.
games.
Yeah, and if you ask me that same question, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna have to agree with you, BJ3. I think meaning that Tank is the champion. He's gonna come out there and meaning that he already said what he was gonna do. He said he wanted to take out a lot of his anger out on Frank. He wanted to get in there and stop him early. So I think Tank is gonna come out aggressive. I think he's gonna try to at least. I think they're at least gonna feel them each other out for the first 3 rounds. I don't think he's going to come out there
Yeah, right,
necessarily trying to knock him out and stop him in the first round. You know what I mean?
right.
Because
Because they
he can
both gonna
actually,
come out with some respect, and
right.
Frank is definitely respecting. That's all I'm saying. He's
Yeah, you got to
definitely
have a
respecting
little bit of
the
respect for his power. You know
right.
what I mean?
They don't want to start that early.
Right, right. So you want to, so I think they'll fill each other out for the first 2 3 rounds. But at the same time, Tank will be a lot more aggressive. He won't be a counter fighter. It'll be Frank who will be the counter fighter starting off for the first three. You know, I think once Tank lay his hands on Frank and and he takes that first punch, that's when the fight is going to start. You know what I mean? So
Do
once
you think? Do you think that Frank is gonna land the punch first? Okay? My question: who do you think is gonna land a good shot first?
I'm gonna say Tank is because he's gonna come out very aggressive. So he's probably gonna land the first punch because like I said a second ago, Frank is going to be a counter fighter because Tank is going to come out aggressive. So my question to you, BJ3, is if Tank come out there very aggressive, and land one of them left or right hooks early, do you think that Frank has the chin? Because we really haven't seen this. I don't think even out of all the fights that I've saw, Frank fight, I don't think he's been tested, at all. I don't think he's been hurt yet. So do you think if he get hit with one of them left hooks or uppercut early that he'll be able to take those shots and be able to go on?
Um, from from the history of Tank, usually you can't take you can't take too many of those shots clean.
Right.
And and you said you saw Frank take a lot of right hands, so
Yeah, I did. I did see him take a lot of right hands.
he can take some shots.
Yeah. So you know what? You're right. So I have to agree with you that I have to agree, but it was not no Tank shots. So that's a big difference. And that's why I said
Tank hit different.
right.
Tank hit different.
So if he take a lot of them right hands,
I would say ain't nobody taking those shots. If you continuously taking those shots, then you're gonna be out here like Barrios or De La Cruz. It's gonna be good. So
hey, I agree with you. It's gonna be lights out. So to me, and this is like, and before we started up the show, and we were talking about this earlier. Frank is going to have to be. He's going to have to be a boxer tomorrow. He's going to have to use that reach and that jab and just try to keep, especially when Tank come out there trying to be. He's going to be aggressive. He's actually going to have that Mike Tyson style being aggressive. Leading off. Taking off. So Frank is going to have to turn into. He's going to have to be a boxer and use that reach and jab and keep. He's going to have to be able to keep Tank off. So it's going to be a lot of body shots coming from Tank early. You know what I mean?
Okay, so tell me this, because you're a southpaw.
Right.
How was it fighting against another left-hander?
It's going to be it'll be evenly. It'll be like evenly yoked. No one will have the advantage. You know what I mean? Meaning that like two right-handers fighting each other. You won't have a lot of stepping on each other's foot like you have with right and left-handers. So, that's what I mean. It'll be kind of evenly yoked. You know what I mean? So it'll be a good fight. You won't see a lot of, and what I mean by that, you will be able to see the skills from each other. It won't be an awkward fight coming from two left-handers. So it should be a good
Okay.
skilled fight. So do you think Frank got the skills to even go 12 rounds with Tank if they went 12 rounds?
I think I think Frank his last two fights were against not Tank, but high opposition, and he went the distance. So he can go the distance.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. It's definitely been shown he can go the distance.
We saying if you don't get caught, because we know Tank. If you don't get caught, he can go the distance.
Right.
To answer the question, yeah, he can go the distance.
Okay. So yeah, Frank, he's gonna have to put everything on display tomorrow. Defense, because Tank is coming for that body.
But what about Tank though? I mean, the fights we've seen Tank, he he take about 3 or 4 shots to land one of his shots,
Yeah,
and it take about 4, maybe 5 of his shots, and then he ends the fight. So you got a good 20 shots to get in on him before he finally get to you. So you saying Frank ain't gonna be able to touch you?
No, I'm not saying that. Frank, is a skilled fighter now. He's definitely going to touch him. But to me, and this goes back to the question that I was asking you earlier. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I think if Frank hit him early, with a couple of them shots, Tank will suck him up. Because I honestly think and I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he got the power to stop. I think this fight, if Frank win this fight, it's gonna have to be a 12-round fight. He's gonna have to win on points because he hasn't shown me that he has the power to stop nobody.
In the so in the press conference, the last press conference before the weigh-in, they asked Tank, "What does he have?" And he said, "A brick left hand."
Mm. That's crazy. So yeah, Tank. It sounds like Tank has no respect for him. And that's crazy. But I think he's just trying to get in his head.
Acting, but when he talk, and listen, and this is why I say, um, okay, Mayweather picked him for a reason. He's just like him, as
Right.
far as his entire life has been boxing. He didn't go to a college prep high school. He didn't go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His whole life was
It's
the
it's
ring.
it's all around boxing,
He's mastered
the
that.
art of boxing.
You
Right.
get to ask him questions and trying to hit him with big words and all that. That ain't what he do.
Right. He's
He's
a fighter.
mastered boxing. He's
Right.
mastered boxing.
Right.
I forgot what my point was. What was we talking about? What's the question?
We were just talking about like just far as the art of boxing, you were just saying that like if it went 12 rounds, I said if it went 12 rounds, Frank would have to. I said if for Frank, in order for Frank to win this fight, he would have to go 12 rounds. You know, he would have to win on decision. You know, because he's not going to get in there and go blow for blow for him
Some stuff to
with
keep
him.
him off of him.
Say that again, BJ3.
Because he'll have to hit Tank with some stuff that'll keep Tank from coming at him. Because other than that, Tank will eventually put the pressure on and push the issue.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to keep that jab, you know, to reset Tank from coming in every time because Tank, he's definitely gonna come in like that. He's gonna have that Mike Tyson bull. You know, he's already said he's gonna unleash, you know, this a year and a half layoff, you know, that he's been off for boxing due to, you know, a little incident that he had a few years ago. You know, but we haven't even got off into the undercard. You know, we got David Benavidez, and I don't want to get, I don't want to tear up his opponent name, but that's going to be also another great fight. You know, we have, you know, I believe 4 championship fights tomorrow night. You know, so it's going to be a good show. You know, tell me what you think about the Mexican monster. You know, he's a beast. You know, it's going to be a good fight.
I like him. I like him. I think it's messed up that the sanctioned bodies didn't make Canelo give him a shot.
Yeah. You know, Canelo picking and choosing who he want to fight.
Canelo fought all kind of other mother lovers, and he didn't have to fight him without being stripped. But we can go on and on about who got stripped and
Right.
how fast they got stripped. So yeah, but his opponent,
Yeah, and
his opponent ain't no joke neither.
yeah, and and I don't want to tear his name up, but it's
Same debate.
Alazansker. It's definitely Russian. Alazansker Govaskir something. So yeah, it sounds like he's a Russian guy, but they're fighting tomorrow. You know, for what belt is it? It's for the WBC light heavyweight title. Yeah, it's the WBC light heavyweight.
And he stopped. He stopped. Well, our guy from Detroit. Yeah, Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so it's definitely going to be another good fight. You know, the Mexican monster. So, you know, he even said, I watched a show the other day about, he was talking with a boxing show the other day. You know, he always had wanted to fight alongside Tank. You know, so this is definitely going to be a good fight. You know, so I advise everybody who's not a fight fan, you know, and who's a fight fan, tomorrow night is definitely going to be a great fight. We got 4 title fights tomorrow, you know, and then you also have 4 undercards that's going to be fighting before the fight tomorrow. What'd you say, BJ3?
Gary Russell.
Right.
One of the Russell brothers. It's a couple brothers. I may be saying the wrong Russell brother name, but I think one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Antoine Russell.
Okay.
Russell.
Yep. So you got Gary Antonin, Gary Antonin Russell versus Alberto Pulio for the WBC interim super lightweight title. You got Carlos Adames versus Terrell Gusha for the WBC middleweight title.
My man from Cleveland. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. So we definitely got some good fights. So but we'll get back to the main event. And I'm not gonna hold you too long. We said this was gonna be too long. We already at 28 minutes. Like I said back what I was saying earlier. You want to root for the hometown hero. I want to root for Frank, but Tank been my man. Thus far. All these years. So I can't go. I can't go against the thread, So I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna be up front and straight. I'm gonna pick Tank in 8. Tank in 8. He gonna get him up out of there in 8.
Oh.
He gonna fill him out for the first 3, 4, maybe 4 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
He gonna get the fans what they need. He's gonna put up. Frank gonna put up a decent fight, a good fight. But the overall of the skill set and just the veteran leadership, it's just gonna overwhelm everything that Frank has saw this far. So I'll allow you to elaborate on what you think, BJ3, and then we'll go ahead and close out.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go the other way just for the hell of it. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the hometown guy.
Ooh.
I think this what I'm going with. This what I'm going with. I'm going with a year and a half layoff.
Mm.
I'm going with um, the bigger guy. The bigger guy. Tank can't really get bigger than 135. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He really maxing out at 135
Yeah,
at
he
this
came
point.
in. He came in, I believe, at 133. And your boy Frank came in at 134, so he barely made that weight. And Tank talked about that. I don't know. You don't know how long Frank. This may be his last fight at this weight. Because he barely made the weight.
But Frank is big,
Yeah, he a
so
big
that's
boy.
what I'm saying. He gonna be at least 15 pounds heavier. Sometimes that means something, sometimes it don't. Um, so like it's gonna be some advantages. It's gonna be some advantages for Frank. I'm going. Okay. I'm gonna say that they're gonna fight like like you said. They're gonna start off slow
Okay.
and eventually. See, here's the thing. All that you know and I know, all that training shit, all that go out the window when you get hit. Sometimes it's like, okay, I got to get him back instead of focusing on the strategy. And I think it's gonna be a point with them that it's not gonna be about strategy.
All
I
right.
think they gonna they gonna take it personal and make it about dominating each other. And I think it's gonna be a stoppage.
Okay. Okay, so who's gonna be the stoppee? Who's gonna get stopped? And what round are you picking, BJ3? Go ahead and let us know.
I'm saying he gonna jump on him. He gonna they gonna do the slow 3 rounds. The fourth, fifth, sixth round they gonna be mixing it up. Seventh, eighth, ninth. I say by the 10th round,
Mm.
yeah, I say Frank gonna go ahead and go put him down.
Wow. Okay. Now y'all heard this from here. You heard BJ3 say it. So and like I said, I wanted to go with the hometown hero. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be stupid. So you got to be able to beat Tank to show me something. But what a lot of people um have not ask themselves is, do you think this is too early for Frank? Do you think he'll be able to recover if he take this L and get beat down, BJ3? This is kind of early, meaning that
Listen,
okay, go
I'm
ahead.
telling you, and this is why I say, and this is why I say, I promise you, if I was in Vegas, I would bet on Frank
Okay.
because because everybody that I've seen him fight against, and I haven't been following him from his first, second, third, fourth, fifth fight,
And he's
right?
even, he even we've even been at some of the cars that he fought on in Detroit. With one of our cousins that fought on some of the cars. I didn't even know. Phil had told us about that. So he's been around. He's been at, like I said, he's been at some of the same shows that our cousin fought at. So he's been around. He's been in the city, so he don't have some good, you know, um, workout sessions with some of the good fighters in Detroit. So he's not a bum. So don't underestimate Frank. Frank, and if you watching this, look. You's a hometown hero. Go out there and do your thing, baby. I'm not underestimating you. I hope you go out there and do your thing. We want you to bring it back home. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm also a Tank Davis fan. He has a good everything. He's a well skilled veteran. So you gonna have to be out there on your shit, baby. And bring it home. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, a lot of people has not, and even Tank said this. You know, you have not been in front of the lights. Once them lights come on and you see them lights, it's a whole different show.
It is, but it's only two people in the ring. It's only
Facts.
two people in the ring, and when it come down to it, you can block all that shit out.
But yeah, that's a big moment, BJ3. A lot of people get stuck in them lights and the cameras. A lot of athletes talk about that. Throughout their careers. So Frank is gonna have a lot against him, man. I hope he be able to pull it out. Like I said, we for the hometown hero, but at the same time, Tang has just took the boxing world by storm, and it's hard to go against him, but
I'm going with him because every time he was the underdog, and
okay.
every time he figured out how to do it. I think that I think that his size is gonna be too much. If he go in there and he try to push the issue and he got his mitts up, I don't know, man. I think it's something going on with Tank. Is all I'm saying. Like right now, he's not the norm.
He's been a lot aggressive, like just with everything, in his talks, just all up in his grill, in his face. Yeah, he's been very arrogant.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, but I don't have anything else to add. If you do have something to add, BJ3, you can add it. But if not, let them know where they can reach you. Let them know what you got going on, bro.
But check me out on TikTok, all underscore natural underscore T.
Go ahead, say that again one more time in case they didn't hear it.
All underscore natural underscore T.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, look, we want to thank BJ3 for coming on to the show. This definitely been some great talk. You've been getting good advice from two guys who just been around the sport and watching the sport, since kids. So it's definitely going to be a great fight. I advise you guys who's boxing fans to be in front of your screen tomorrow watching the fight. It's going to be an awesome undercard. 4 championship fights. And then like I said, it's going to be 4 other fights. Before the fight even start up. So. Tomorrow's going to be a good day for boxing, So once again, I need you guys to like, subscribe, comment, and definitely helps the show get in the algorithm when you guys share. So I need you guys to do that. Please hit that subscribe button too. It's definitely the numbers has been moving up, but we need to move up a little bit more faster. But like I said, I want to thank BJ3 for coming on to the show. It's been another good talk, and it's your boy Dame D, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.